for combat in Argatoria, you're looking at essentially 3 stats. So let's say this unit has 2 attacks apiece, so you're going to be rolling 8 dice. Now your target number is your weapon skill. For this case, let's say their weapon skill 3. We want 3 or lower. So these are going to be misses. These are all going to be hits. In the case of a 1, that is a critical. You add 1 more die to your pool for the wound test. To determine wounds, you take the strength of the attacker versus the toughness of the defender. Any difference modifies this pool. So if I'm strength 5 and they're only toughness 2, well, I get to add 3 dice because that's the difference. Alternatively, if I'm strength 2 and they're toughness 5, I have to take 3 away because it's going to be harder for me to wound them with such a low strength. Let's just say our strength and toughness is the same. So now I'm looking for my strength test and I'm strength 3. So again, we're looking for lower. So let's just say for the sake of this example, this one was also a successful wound. Most bases in Argatoria have 2 wounds apiece. So what this would do is it would have 1 base as a casualty and then 1 excess wound. You leave your casualties to the side and you leave your excess wounds on a die here. You don't swing back, there's no simultaneous combat, but it's entirely possible for 4 or 5 units to be in combat at the same time. So at the end of the cycle, it's whatever unit lost the most bases that has to take the cold blood test, essentially the morale test. It doesn't matter if there's 5 units in this melee, it is the unit that lost the most bases that takes the cold blood test. Also, at the end of the cycle, if there's any remaining excess wounds, they just clear off. So to take a cold blood test, you roll 2d6, and you're attempting to roll higher than the unit's leadership. If you roll higher, then you're fine, nothing happens. If you roll under, well then that unit now has to take a panic test. So let's say, just for the sake of an example, their leadership was 10, I rolled an 8, now this unit has to take a panic test. For each base that I lost, I roll another die. Each 4 plus, let's just say that was a 4, is another base that's removed. So if they had lost 2 bases, I'd roll 2 die. In this instance, nothing happens. If that was the result, then they would lose 1 more base. And that just represents some of the units fleeing from battle.